She was crying when I got home. Said her boss was harassing her and she might quit. I offered to cover bills while she took time off. A week later, I picked up her phone and saw a message. "He's paying for us to fly to Tulum." I didn't confront her. I bought my own ticket, and when she landed, I was waiting at the gate with, "My name's Eric. I live in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm 38 and have been doing home remodeling for most of my adult life. I build kitchens, redo basements, and install cabinets. It's steady work. Nothing fancy, but it pays well. I've got a beat-up Ford truck, a couple of old tools passed down from my dad, and a small apartment on the west side of town. I'm not flashy. I don't need much. I was with Kelsey for 4 years. She's 33, worked in marketing for a small interior design company. She always had that kind of energy that drew people in. Big laugh, smart mouth, nice to everybody. People liked her. I did too. A lot. I thought she was the one. We moved in together after a year. We split rent, groceries, most things. I covered her car insurance for a few months once, but it was no big deal. Things were good. Or at least I thought they were. Then one night, I got home from a drywall job in Ankeny. It was around 7:30. I walked into the apartment, tired, covered in white dust, and there she was, curled up on the couch with red eyes and a pile of tissues. "What's wrong?" I asked, dropping my tool bag by the door. She looked up at me and her lip trembled. "It's my boss," she said, voice shaky. "He's been making weird comments. Staring. Saying stuff. I don't feel safe." I sat down next to her. "You serious?" She nodded, crying harder. "I'm thinking of quitting. But I don't know if I can afford it. I've got my car payment, student loans, rent, don't worry about it," I said. "Just quit. I got us. Take some time. We'll be fine." She hugged me like she was drowning, and I just pulled her out of the ocean. For the next week, she stayed home. Said she was taking time to reset. She told her boss she needed space. She went to yoga, had coffee with friends, even started painting again. I thought, damn, she's finally taking care of herself. I worked more. Picked up a weekend gig tiling a mudroom in a suburb just outside town. Left the house early, got back late. I'd cook us dinner sometimes and leave the dishes for her. She'd say thanks, kiss me, then go lay in bed with her tablet. Then, one morning, everything changed. She left her phone on the kitchen counter while she took a shower. I was making coffee. Her screen lit up with a text. The preview said, "Ashley, he's paying for us to fly to Tulum, can you believe that?" Something in my stomach twisted. I picked up the phone. I wish I hadn't. But I did. I opened the thread with Ashley. It was all right there. 4 days. Maybe longer. Kelsey had been texting her about how she was sleeping with her boss. The same man she told me had been harassing her. Turns out that was just a cover story. She called him D in her messages. Said he was fun, rich, exciting. Said she told him she was stuck with a boring handyman boyfriend but couldn't afford to leave yet. That was me. She laughed about how she made me pay the bills while she planned a getaway with him. Called me her little sponsor. I couldn't breathe. My hands were shaking. I put the phone down. She came out of the bathroom, towel on her head, smiled at me like nothing happened. I smiled back. Didn't say a word. That whole day, I acted normal. Asked her what she wanted for dinner. Watched a movie with her. She laid her head on my chest and I felt nothing but cold. That night, after she fell asleep, I booked a ticket to Cancun. Same flight. Same time. I did some digging and confirmed it. She'd used her old Gmail account to book her flight. Same return date. Hotel in Tulum. 2 guests. 1 bed. I wasn't about to scream or throw her stuff out. That's not my style. I wanted her to feel what I felt. I wanted her to see it coming. Right in front of her. She left 3 days later. Rolled her suitcase out the door, kissed me goodbye. "I'll call you when I land," she said with a soft smile. "You better," I said. 2 hours later, I boarded the same flight. I sat 3 rows behind her. Hoodie on. Glasses. Hat pulled low. She didn't notice me. She was too busy flirting with a man up in business class. It was him. The boss. Balding, tanned, maybe 50. Wore sunglasses indoors like a douche bag. They drank wine. Laughed. She touched his arm. I sat there, quiet the whole time. When we landed in Cancun and caught the connecting flight to Tulum, I waited for the moment. At the tiny airport in Tulum, she walked off the plane holding his hand, giggling like a teenager. And then she saw me. She stopped cold. I walked up to them with a thick manila envelope in my hand. Her face went white. His went confused. I said, "Hey, Kels." She blinked. "WH, what are you?" "I figured you might need this," I said, holding out the envelope. She just stared. Her boss took it and opened it. Inside were printed copies of all the messages, screenshots, and even a copy of the flight booking confirmation in her name. His eyes scanned it. Slowly. Then quickly. Then he looked at her. "You told me he was abusive," the man said to her. "You said he wouldn't let you leave." She opened her mouth, then closed it. I turned to the boss. "She said you were harassing her. That you scared her so bad she couldn't go back to work." He took a step back from her. She started crying. "Eric, please." I turned and walked away. But I wasn't finished. I left the airport without looking back. My chest was tight, but my hands were steady. I didn't go to a hotel. I had already booked a small Airbnb on the edge of town, some dusty little place with a hammock and no air conditioning. I didn't care. I wasn't there to relax. I was there to watch the truth explode. I stayed off social media. Turned off my phone. Let the world sit in silence while I waited. 2 days later, I walked past the resort where Kelsey and her boss were staying. I didn't go inside, just sat at a beach bar across the street. Drank water. Watched people laugh. Waited. And then I saw them. She was sitting at the poolside bar alone. Hair tied back. No makeup. Staring at her drink. No sign of her boss. About 10 minutes later, a black SUV pulled up. I saw him get out, dragging his suitcase. Alone. He didn't even glance her way. She stood up fast, shouted something. He didn't stop walking. He just kept moving toward the resort entrance. She chased after him, but a security guy stepped between them. Wouldn't let her in. She stood there for a while, yelling. Crying. Begging. The staff started whispering, staring. Tourists took photos. Eventually, she gave up. Walked out onto the sidewalk, crying into her hands. I watched her stand there for 15 minutes. Then she sat down on the curb. I didn't go to her. I didn't say a word. The next day, I got an email from her. "Please come get me. I don't know what to do. He's gone. I'm stuck here. I made a huge mistake. Please, Eric. Just talk to me." I didn't reply. She tried calling that night. 8 times. I didn't pick up. Then I got a text from her mom. "Eric, I don't know what's going on, but Kelsey called me crying. Said you left her in Mexico? What's going on?" I didn't answer that either. Not yet. Back in Iowa, things got worse for her real fast. Turns out, her boss was married. His wife found the envelope too, because he didn't throw it away. She emailed me. Her message was short, "Thank you. You did the right thing. Divorce is in motion." So I guess that part fell apart too. Meanwhile, I canceled Kelsey's phone line. She was still on my plan. I moved all the money from our shared account. Left her with exactly $11. She had no credit card. No friends nearby. No way home. She had to call her mom. 3 days later, she was back in Iowa. She didn't go to our apartment, because I had changed the locks. I had also packed up every one of her boxes and left them at her mom's place before she landed. I got another message from her. Why are you doing this? I made a mistake. We can fix it. I love you. She didn't love me. She loved what I gave her. I went quiet again. For a while. I focused on work. Took more jobs. Stayed busy. But people talk. Word spread. Her old coworker, Jenna, who I had fixed the deck for once, called me. You okay? She asked. Getting there. She paused. You know, she told us you were abusive. Controlling. Said you wouldn't let her quit working. That hit me like a bat to the chest. She said what? Jenna told me everything. Apparently, for months, Kelsey had been telling people I was toxic. That I made her pay for everything. That I tracked her phone, checked her texts, and forced her to stay home. It was the exact opposite of the truth. She wasn't just cheating. She was building a safety net of lies in case she got caught. I thanked Jenna. Then I got to work. I didn't scream or cry. I planned. After that call with Jenna, something clicked in my head. This wasn't just a betrayal. It was deeper than that. Kelsey hadn't just cheated on me, she tried to destroy the version of me in other people's eyes. She laid the groundwork so that when the truth came out, she could still come out looking like the victim. I wasn't going to let her do that. First, I made a list. Everything she said about me. Every lie I could trace. I talked to people, friends of hers, old coworkers, even her sister Rachel. I was calm, polite, and straightforward. I never asked them to take sides. I just asked questions. The more I asked, the more came out. She told her friends I screamed at her. She told her boss I drank too much and threatened her. She told Rachel that I monitored her computer and blocked her from seeing her friends. All lies. And all of it could be disproven. I had screenshots of her messages thanking me for supporting her, saying how lucky she was to have me. She sent them just days before she left with him. I had emails from her asking me to help pay off her credit card. Because I always took such good care of her. I had Venmo history. Texts. A clean track record from my own friends, my coworkers, my clients. So I started putting it all together. I created a PDF. Just 20 pages. Not crazy. Just enough. It was all facts. All receipts. No name-calling. No trash talk. And then I sent it. To the design firm she used to work at. To her old yoga friends. To her sister. To her mom. I didn't say anything cruel. I just attached the file and wrote. I just want the truth to be known. That's all. That was it. No threats. No drama. Just the truth. 2 days later, Rachel called me. Eric, I'm so sorry, she said. I didn't know. She told me you were a monster. I didn't say much back. I just thanked her and hung up. That night, I finally saw her name pop back up on Facebook. She had reactivated her account. Probably to save face. What I didn't expect was what came next. She posted a long status. People love to kick you when you're down. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes. But some people are trying to ruin my life out of revenge. They're spreading lies and twisting things. I won't let the hate win. There were over 40 comments. Half of them were her friends trying to defend her. But the other half? They were people tagging me. Saying things like, funny, because the screenshots say otherwise. You lied to all of us. You said Eric hurt you, but I read those texts. You were laughing about using him. I didn't reply. I just watched it all burn from a distance. But even that wasn't the twist I'm about to tell you. A week later, I got an email from a woman named Vanessa. She said, Hi Eric. You don't know me. But I think I was dating the same man Kelsey flew to Tulum with. I blinked at my screen. Turns out, the guy Kelsey called, D, had a longtime girlfriend, Vanessa. They'd been together for 6 years. She wasn't his wife, but she was close enough. Lived with him. Shared bills. Raised his dog. And guess what? Kelsey wasn't the only one. Vanessa found out about another woman too. A third one. I asked her how she found me. She said she saw my name in one of the emails I sent. Someone forwarded it to her. Said it might help her understand what kind of man D really was. We talked on the phone that night. For almost 2 hours. She was calm. Strong. Not shaken. She told me everything. About how he traveled for business. How he always said his clients needed last-minute meetings in Mexico. How he kept a second phone. Kelsey was just another plaything to him. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Vanessa said she was taking legal steps to cut ties. She thanked me for the information. Said if I ever needed anything, she'd back me up. I hung up and sat in the dark for a while. All these pieces falling into place. But the last piece hadn't dropped yet. Because Kelsey? She wasn't done. She was planning something. And I found out just in time. 2 weeks after everything blew up online, I was finally starting to breathe again. Work was steady, I had no more unexpected texts, and it felt like maybe, just maybe, I could move on from this whole mess. I wasn't looking to date or party or prove anything. I just wanted peace. But peace wasn't what I got. One afternoon, I got a letter. Not a text. Not an email. A physical letter. In a plain white envelope. It was from a lawyer. At first, I thought it was a joke. But no, Kelsey was trying to sue me. For emotional distress. Said I had defamed her publicly. And caused her loss of career opportunities and personal reputation. I laughed out loud. Then I read it again. It was real. She wanted $25,000. And get this, she said I had invaded her privacy by sharing her texts. I showed the letter to my buddy Matt, who used to work in law enforcement. He read it twice and said, "She's fishing. She's pissed off and wants to make you pay. But she's got no case." Still, I didn't want to take chances. I hired a real lawyer. A good one. We filed a countersuit. Not for money, though I could have asked for a lot. I asked for a formal statement of retraction. Signed. Public. And I wanted her to pay my legal fees. The court date was set for early April. When the day came, she showed up with a tired-looking attorney and a folder of printed screenshots, ones I'd already seen. Ones that made her look like the victim, if you ignored everything before and after them. But I had everything. The full threads. The timestamps. The original files from her phone before she changed the lock screen code. And I had something else. Vanessa. She testified. Said Kelsey had knowingly gotten involved with a man in a relationship. That Kelsey bragged about. Milking both men. For what she could get. Vanessa showed emails. Screenshots. Even audio messages Kelsey had sent to a mutual friend. It was bad. Kelsey broke down crying in the courtroom. Her own lawyer asked the judge if they could pause proceedings for emotional reasons. The judge said no. In the end, the case was thrown out. My counterclaim? Accepted. She had to pay $3,600 in legal fees. But that wasn't the real win. The real win came later. A local business blog picked up the case. One of Kelsey's old coworkers submitted it anonymously. They changed names, but it was clear who it was about to anyone who knew her. The story spread like wildfire in our city. It made her untouchable in her field. No marketing firm wanted to touch her. She tried to apply for jobs in nearby cities, Cedar Rapids, Omaha, but word spread fast. Small industry. No one trusted her. She ended up working part-time at a call center. Minimum wage. No benefits. Her apartment lease ran out a few months later. She moved back in with her mom. Meanwhile, I bought a small house on the edge of town. Nothing fancy, but mine. I installed the cabinets myself. Took my time. Painted the walls a soft gray blue, like the lake where my dad used to take me fishing. I even built a back deck with a built-in grill. Life started to feel calm again. But I won't lie to you. Part of me changed after all this. I wasn't the same soft guy who blindly trusted anymore. And that's not all bad. Because a few months later, I ran into Jenna. The one who first told me Kelsey had lied. We had coffee. Then dinner. Then more dinners. And this time, I took things slow. Real slow. We're not rushing anything. No shared bank accounts. No moving in. But when she looks at me, it's real. And I never once had to pay for her to reset. As for Kelsey? Last I heard, she moved down to Kansas City to live with a cousin. Got into some multi-level marketing thing. Posted quotes on Facebook about second chances and choosing joy. She never apologized. Not once. But she doesn't have to. Her whole plan fell apart. Her web of lies choked her own future. And me? I didn't have to scream. Didn't have to hit. Didn't have to beg. I just let the truth walk in behind her. And it hit harder than anything I ever could.